We are on our final day. I hope you are excited. I hope you have joined me for day 1 and day 2 because today is a wrap-up day. All right, so you guys know the drill. While you are coming on, I am going to be sharing the live into my business page, so hang tight. But give me a shout out. Let me know if you're there. Let me know if you attended day 1 and day 2. I want to hear from you, and I want to hear what you discovered. I want to hear some of your aha moments. I want to hear any breakthroughs that you've had. So be sure and share that below while I get this thing going. And then pretty soon, in about 3 minutes, we are going to get started. Okay? And by the way, in case you're new, you don't know who I am, I'm Laurie Maxon. I'm the coach of Down to Earth Women Building Success. This is a part of my mini-series. This is our last day of a mini-series called Meet Me in the Middle. And this is for those people who felt stuck. You feel like maybe you've been waiting for something to change and nothing's going on. Maybe you believe you've been taking the right kind of steps and you're getting frustrated. Or maybe you know that there's something more inside. You just can't get to it. You don't know where it's at. This mini-series was for you, okay? So if you haven't seen day 1 and day 2, make sure you go back and watch those. And I'm gonna tell you, this isn't for the lazy person. This isn't for the wishy-washy person. This is for the person who's really sick and tired of being stuck and you're ready to move and have a breakthrough. Okay, guys, hold on. I'll be right back with you. And, okay, let me just say this. As always, as I've said for the last 2 days, share your comments, ask your questions below. I go through those at the end of the live so that I can get through. Guys, this has been like a 3-day series. I've been packing it full of information, full of stuff for you to think about and do. And I know, trust me, I just want to say this again and again. I know you're not going to get through everything that I'm teaching you in 3 days. You're going to have to take time. You're going to have to set time aside and work through it. There were some really tough questions on day 1. Really tough. And those questions alone can probably take you a week or more. All right? If you're really committed and you really take some time and work through those questions, and they're powerful. And if you listen to day 1, you know that it's not just something that I do as a coach. It's something to help you break through. It's critical to the process. I believe it's the first thing that you have to do when you're stuck, when you're starting. And a lot of times we miss that step and then we start on a path, we get stuck and we don't know why. And it has nothing to do with you not doing the right things because that's what somebody taught you to do. It's just that they taught you the wrong process or they didn't share that certain step. Okay, so hello Karen, thank you for being on. We are on day 3. It is 7 o'clock. You know me, I start on time. I don't waste time. So we are going to kick it off. I want it, like I shared earlier, okay? You can go back and listen to it. I'm not going to repeat everything I said. This is our last day, guys. This is our last day. I hope that you have had some awakenings, aha moments from day 1 and day 2, which were just packed full of stuff. Because day 1, we talked about where you are right now. Then we talked about what. What do you want? What do you see for your future? You know, I had you create that, like the Willy Wonka movie, where you allowed yourself to just picture what would bring you happiness. We talked about why, right? And you got my perspective of the why that makes you cry. I say make sure you challenge that why, so that because this is important, that it's not a why in a negative sense, that it's going to make you cry in a negative way, but that why is a powerful why you're doing what you're doing, because that why has to be a positive. It has to be attached to a positive emotion. So no matter what it is, that positive emotion needs to be a celebration, excitement. Okay? Even if, I gave you an example, even if your why is, I'm financially strapped, I've got to get out. Man, that hurts. I've been there. I know it's painful. But what I didn't know was trying to motivate myself, trying to move myself forward with a negative mindset out of desperation or fear didn't get me very far. You can have that same why, but make sure what you're thinking about is where you're going. Like, you can't wait for your financial freedom, because you are going to be able to give, serve, do more. Like, you have to attach your why to a positive emotion. That was yesterday. So today, guys, I don't know if you're ready, but I'm ready. We're talking about how. So I got that, Laurie. I figured that out. I got my mind right. So where do I go? Like, how do I get started? Some of these you have heard. Some of them I may twist, and some of them you may not have heard. But I hope you have your pen and paper, because we're going to get started. If you're like me, sometimes you just like to listen first and then go back, watch it again, and then take your notes. That's fine. Just make sure you have not skipped one of the days. Okay? Let's go, guys. By the way, say hello. Remember, drop your comments and your questions. I will answer them after the live. All right. When I was thinking about the how, the first thing is, guess what? Just take a step. Guys, you are taking a step right now. So I want to celebrate each and every one of you. I really do. Because it's at night. You probably are tired from the day. You probably, would like to just sit your butts down, but you're here learning. I celebrate you. I celebrate your success and your future, because you're willing to work for it, and that's why you're here. So I want you to accept that. I want you to feel what that celebration is, okay? Take a first step. Tomorrow, take another first step. That could be a part of your homework, doing your homework, and then saying, how can I improve? How can I learn more? How can I grow? Okay? Take one step at a time. Don't compare your life dreams to someone else's. We talked about this yesterday. Remember what I said. You have a dream, you can dream as big as you want, and your effort has to equal it. Don't look at somebody's big dream that they've achieved if you don't know all of the effort that was put in to get there. You are in charge of your dream. It's yours. Remember? You defined it yesterday. We talked about it. Okay? Stop looking at time. I am so guilty of this. You guys know that I told you, did I introduce myself? Yes, I did. Okay. But sorry about that. You guys know that I'm a faith-driven person, so I've been doing my devotions in the morning, and I'm going to be honest with you. I have done this one devotional. It's really short, like 5 days, and I love it because it keeps me centered, because time is a big deal for me. Time's a big deal. Thank you, Marty. And it's called Wait and See. And as I was thinking about that, it talked about too, and it kind of like reiterated what I was having in my notes here, is that time, like, we don't define it, okay? We don't control it. It's just there. And you, every day, as long as you are putting in the effort and you stay committed and you're driven towards your goal, it could take a month, it could take a year, it could take 10. Now, when I say that, does it scare you? For some of us, we're like, I'm not going to do this for 10 years. I don't feel like struggling for 10 years. Then I challenge you to go back to lesson 1 and lesson 2, because my thinking is you may not be as committed and driven to that dream as you thought. Just like I told you about Bora Bora being on my vision board, I took it off. Because, man, it's beautiful. I would love it. But I have to think to myself, why is it on my vision board? Because, like, it doesn't cause me excitement to, like, get on a plane and actually travel that far. Because I'm an introvert and I don't like to travel. So I took it off because it was foolish for me to have it on there. Look at your dreams. And if you can't say, I don't care how long it takes, I'm going to be successful. Do you feel the difference, my friends? So stop looking at time. Stop it. Stop defining your success based on how long it took so-and-so to get there and how long it's taken you to get there. We don't care about that, remember? Get it out of your head. Every time you think of it, just say, time is on my hands. When it's the right time, I'm just going to keep working hard, putting in that effort every day because I can still see my dream. Amens? Can I get some amens out there? All right? We all love the ability to succeed, we all have the ability to succeed. Hear that? We all have the ability to succeed. I want you to shout that out from your home so people think you're crazy there. We all have the ability to succeed if we keep moving forward. I want you to say that. You have the ability to succeed if you keep moving forward. Don't stop. Don't make excuses for yourself because, hey, I've done all of these. Remember, I told you that the other day. You have the ability to succeed, and you will if you don't quit. Talked about risk getting uncomfortable. You have to get uncomfortable. Laurie, I don't like to do this. Laurie, I don't like to do that. Is it an important step in you achieving your dream? If it is, get uncomfortable and do it. Guys, when I first started my coaching business, really, for real, all right, they didn't have the Facebook Lives out yet. So I had to actually get a camera and video myself. And man, I cannot tell you, I was doing it for my coaching website, which I have taken down. And I would sit there and I would just keep trying and trying and trying over and over and over so that I didn't sound like I was talking like this. It was frustrating, but I knew it was important for me to put a video out on my website so people could see me. But my problem was I wasn't doing it right. I wasn't being the ATV that we've talked about. I was trying to be and look professional, and it came off so awkward until I got frustrated and I finally said, forget it. I'm just doing it, whatever this one turns out like. And I was just me, and it turned out great. You're going to have to do things. You're going to have to get uncomfortable. Don't make the mistake that I made of trying to be perfect, trying to do everything, look good, have the perfect setting. It doesn't matter. What matters is the ATV. How are you showing up? Are you showing up real so that people can connect with you? Are you showing up vulnerable so that people can see, hey, you struggle too. You have weaknesses too, because now I can relate to you. I can't relate to the prima donna or the gigolo. I can't relate to those people who look like perfection and it's fake because they're not. Are you hearing me? Risk getting uncomfortable. Take chances with your ideas. A lot of you have these things that you'd like to do and you're like, yeah, but, and tell me why aren't you doing them? Because I guarantee that most of you are saying or thinking somewhere deep inside, that's why we went back to, started with number 1, that maybe somebody will make fun of you. Maybe somebody thinks that's a stupid idea. Maybe you just don't think that anyone will buy it, I want you to get uncomfortable. I want you to take a risk on your new ideas. Take a risk on them. You have to be ready to fail. And I say, be ready. It's not like it won't happen, because it will, and it will happen a lot. And in that process, I want you to be ready. I wasn't ready when I started my coaching business. I wasn't ready when I started with my network marketing business. I wasn't ready to fail. So when it happened, I was devastated and crushed and thought, I suck. See, I knew it. I shouldn't be doing this stuff. Now I'm telling you to be ready, because it will come. But in those times, I want you to look at what you failed at, and I want you to say, what have I learned not to do? Now, what else can I do? Because this is exciting. I've already checked something off my list of what not to do. I'm already getting better. Some of you are afraid to fail. I know I was. I thought I was just going to go gung-ho. I was going to rank up right away in my network marketing business. I was going to have all these clients chasing me with my coaching business, and none of that happened. And then I wanted to quit. And I know some of you out there are like that. Some of you are stuck because maybe you have kind of quit on your dreams and you're just sitting there. Maybe that's why you're here. Well, now it's time to get started again, because now you know it's okay. Here's another one that a lot of us don't do. Do you mind if I take a sip of water? Sorry. A lot of you don't want to do this. I didn't. You have to watch it. Ask for help. Most people, I am putting my hand up, try to do life, try to do their business, try to do everything on their own. Remember what I said about ATV? This is where this comes in too. You have to ask for help, because you don't know it all. You don't know everything. And because you don't know everything, you can't grow. You can't move forward because you're stuck, but you're embarrassed, you're intimidated, you're ashamed. You don't want to ask anyone for help because you don't want to. Okay, let me give you a perfect example. I got to get my butt moving here for you guys. Network marketing. How many times do you see, I have a ton of network marketing friends, and they will all get on there and they'll all talk about, hey, this is great, just got a new customer, just ranked up, have so many people. Like, you hear that, and then you are in network marketing and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't have anybody. Like, I just lost 3 customers, right? Guess what? So did they. They don't tell you about that. So I'm telling you, understand that what you see out there isn't real. Ask for help. Talk to somebody. Talk to a friend. Talk to your, whoever's in your company. Talk to someone at church. Talk to your family members and say, hey, you know what? Here's how I'm feeling right now. You can talk to me. Here's how I'm feeling right now. What would you say to somebody? What would you do? What do you think? How can I make this better? What kind of what do I need to learn? See, ask for help. People are so willing to give help to somebody who asks for it. I didn't realize that until I had to ask for help. Ask for help. I'm going to say it probably over and over and over 100 times. Live your life by ATV. Live your life. ATV. Authentic, transparent, and vulnerable. I promise you this. You will attract more people into your life if you are ATV than you are if you are being fake and pretentious. I will promise you that. Screw up. You don't have to be perfect. People can't relate to people who are trying to show up being perfect. They can't. They don't even watch them. They won't connect with them. They'll connect with you if you're honest and you're truthful. Here's something else another how. Confidence builds courage. I told you yesterday, confidence is one of the things that I struggle with. And so I have to constantly push myself. But when I do something, when I get over it, when I get done with a 3-day mini series that I don't think anybody's going to jump on and watch, I just do it because I think, what if one person gets benefit from it? Then I, at the end of today, walk away and I feel like I have courage. I had courage because I pushed myself. Okay? People may not agree or support you. Guess what? People may not agree or support you, and you don't deserve it. You earn it. You don't worry about it. If you're sitting there and you're like, Laurie, my spouse doesn't support what I'm doing. Laurie, nobody, cares. Nope, I don't have anybody to reach out to. That's a lie. That's an excuse, okay? There are people out there, like I told you, willing to help, willing to serve, willing to answer you or give you the information that you need or connect you to somebody or listen to you. People are out there. Don't ever say you don't have a support system or people are supporting you, because that's an excuse for you not to move forward. You can do it alone. And guess what? When you keep going with commitment and drive, those non-supporters are watching you. And when they see the commitment and the drive that you have, that no matter what they say, what they do, if you have to do it yourself, they'll start watching you and supporting you. And if they don't, guess what? It's your job to go out and find other people who do. Other like-minded people who are committed and driven, and then you become supportive of each other. Don't ever say that you can't do it because people aren't supporting you or a spouse doesn't support you. That's a no-go in my book, all right? That's not even a word. Stop trying, okay, to explain yourself. Stop trying to explain yourself. There isn't a way to explain the burning desire that you have deep inside to go after your dreams. You can't explain it. Just try to tell me right now. Can you possibly explain, like I can't, why am I still doing this year after year when I'm not like successful like I want to be? Well, guess what? Even in my commitment, all right, I can still keep going. And guess what? Even though like I'm not where I want to be, people watch me, my family watches me, and they're proud of me. They'll say, you're driven, you won't quit. And I won't. I'm not going to quit, because how do you explain what's in your gut? How do you explain that you just know beyond a shadow of a doubt that that's where you're going to be? You don't know how you're going to get there, but by goodness, you're not going to stop working for it, right? Give me some amens. That's how you keep going. That's why we started with day 1 and day 2, to build you up so that in the how, this is how you do it. This is how you keep going. You have to work on learning new skills. You have to. You have to. You have to learn to control your thoughts and control your behaviors. I have to do this too, to be honest with you. That's why, I'm trying to get myself some journals and organize myself, because I'm horrible at that. I'm horrible. My desk is if I showed it to you, it's embarrassing. But I have to learn skills that I don't like, but I have to learn them. Why? So that things are easier for me in my life, in my spiritual life, in my family life, in my business life. Things are easier for me to get to quicker, so I'm not wasting time and I'm just not being mindless about things. Then I have to control my thoughts, because guess what? Being committed and driven is a constant thing. It's not just words you spew out of your mouth to make you seem sound cool. You have to do it. And so every day, even though I work from home, I come into my office first thing in the morning. I have my devotions. I don't look at Facebook. I have built in good habits, daily habits. I don't get on calls. I don't take calls for my family members even, all right? And then I start my day. But I also find myself sometimes just scrolling mindlessly through Facebook or LinkedIn or on YouTube where I'm trying to work 3 things at once. And I have to catch myself and say, okay, I want to become better. So I will listen to some other YouTube videos. I will post some things, excuse me, out on LinkedIn. Need another drink. Guys, this is day 3. What do you expect, you know? So you have to be willing to do that. What do you need to learn? Let's see. Here's another one that you probably don't think about. I've said it a number of times to my viewers. Teach what you're learning. Do you want to grow? Teach what you learn. I hear people all the time say, I don't know what to talk about. I'm not good at that. I don't know anything. Yes, you do. Should have brought a cough drop in here. There are so many times that I'm just reading, whether it's from my devotions, whether it's a book, whether it's a YouTube, whether it's another article I see on LinkedIn, and it'll strike something to me that I'm like, wow, I really like that. Or I'll think about it and I'll think, you know what? I think differently about that. And guess what? That's what I can teach someone else. That's what I can teach someone else. Your job is when you're learning along your journey, along your way, is to teach somebody else. Because you want to know something? Somebody else is behind you. No matter where you are, someone's behind you and it's your job to teach them. All right, where else are we? I lost my place. Hold on. Okay, here's another one. You want to know how to get what you want and get to where you want to go? What is it you desire? Think about that for a minute. We kind of talked about that yesterday. What do you want? Tell me. I'll give you an example. I've shared with you guys, like, confidence is a big thing for me. Like, I struggled with that, like, that I didn't feel worthwhile. So part of what will help you get that for your own life, go help somebody else get it. When I struggle with confidence, I will, and I do it on purpose, and sometimes I don't do it on purpose, but I try to encourage and lift up other people. I try to help them gain confidence. When I do that, I get this feeling back inside, or maybe like an appreciation or a thank you, and guess what? It boosts my confidence. So when I say, give to people what you desire, that's why. You may be saying, okay, well, Laurie, I need more money. All right. I gotcha. Guys, I'm so sorry that, I'm going to choke through this whole thing, but bear with me. All right. What I want you to do is to help other people gain more money. You know other people, so do you know somebody who's struggling? Could you, share with them, hey, do you coupon? Did you find a sale somewhere? Do you have ideas? I shared, I don't know, maybe a few weeks ago, about different ways to stay out of debt for Christmas. When I was a young mom, all right, we didn't have money. My sister and I, we used to go to a thrift store, and I would look for, new toys, and I would buy my kids, for, a quarter of the price, and that's what they would get for Christmas when they were little, because they didn't know any better. If you want to increase your finances, help other people figure out ways to increase theirs. All right? Think about that. So what do you want and what do you need? Think about those things and then figure out how you can give that to somebody else. How can you serve that to somebody else? It sounds crazy, but I promise you it works. And it always kind of comes back around and it starts filling you up and you grow and you can move. You're going to move along the way because you're giving to somebody else what you need. And it will come back. All right. I got to get moving here. Here's another one. I highly encourage you to review these lives. If you didn't watch day 1 and day 2, today's probably, you're like, what? This doesn't make any sense. That's because you didn't watch day 1 and day 2. Go back, rewatch both of those. And guys, like I told you at the very beginning when I started, before 7 o'clock, whatever. Those 2 days, the questions that I ask you in those first 2 days are critical. They're critical. I'm not like sugarcoating it. They're critical. And you have to take the time. It may take some people a couple days. It may take some people a week or so. Work on it every day until you look at those questions and you can be totally ATV, authentic, transparent, and vulnerable with yourself so that you can see yourself and then you can build who you want to be and then you can apply today. But please review those. Please do the homework. Don't just listen to this live and say, okay, I get it. No, you got to do work with this series or you're not going to have a breakthrough. You're still going to feel stuck in a week. And that was not my purpose. Some of you have already had some aha moments. Some of you have had breakthroughs already. Like you feel like you're getting unstuck or you are unstuck or you finally recognize what's going on and now you can begin to take steps to change it. Some of you, it may take a while, but I promise you it will come as long as you do the work. I'd love to hear from you. If you have been a part of the 3-day series and today's our last day, I want you to rank yourself. I gave you like a little description at the beginning. Like here is just like, you haven't started anything. You don't have a vision. You don't think that there's any purpose for your life. Then there's some of you who have started, but you're going really slow because you just don't know where you're going. Some of you are kind of in the middle and you're stuck. You're like, you've gotten that far, but you're stuck. And then some of you are already highly successful, but you're still stuck. Like, what's the next level? What's the next step? This applies to everybody, but where are you? Because I would love to know. And I'd love to see as you go through the series, how do you see yourself moving along that line? Like, where are you? If you were a 0 when we started and a 10 is like, I am rocking this, I want to know where you see yourself when you right now, before you started day 1, then after day 1 and day 2, and then after today, I want to hear from you. I want to hear how you progress. Like, where are you starting to feel motivated, or is there still something missing? Because see, my purpose in this was not just to think that I was going to transform you in 3 days. It's impossible. Like I told everybody day 1, I think, when I coach my clients on this kind of stuff, it really takes about 3 months at the minimum, right? Meeting once a week. I can't change you in 3 days, but I have given you powerful, powerful questions to help you bring about change in your own life. Okay? So today is time to choose. Are you in or are you out? You can't sit on the fence anymore. You can't sit on the fence. You can't make excuses. You can't contemplate quitting every day. All right? You're in or you're out. Choose. I'm in. I'm in it for the long run. I don't care how long it takes me. And it took me a long time to get to this place, guys. a long time of battling ups and downs and crying and temper tantrums and yelling at God and everything else. Like, it took a long time for me to get here because I didn't have this, what I've learned over, years, until I finally put it together and said, well, this is why. Like, you can't find your passion and your purpose if, I'm stuck with this negative mindset. Like, it's impossible. Karen's in. Woohoo! All right, girl. I need that. I need to know if you're in or out. Then I want to know, are you ready to invest your time, your energy, and your money into your dream? I wasn't. I wasn't. When I started, I wasn't. And that's where I was trying to do everything on my own. And that's when I had to eventually ask for help. And I realized I will never get unstuck here. And I invested in my coaches. I invested into programs. I invested into learning. I started reading more books. I started my personal development. That's when I switched and started my devotions every morning. I had to start investing time, energy, and money into me. And you will too. You may try to fight it, like I did, but you will eventually have to do those things. Is your dream worth it? Hear me. Is your dream worth it? Or is it worth leaving behind? I can't answer that for you because I don't know what your dream is. I know that mine, things that I just would blow me away to be able to do, there's no way I'm not going to work for it. Why? Because it would be helping other people. It would be doing something good with my life. It's not about material things for me. I've never been a material person, as you can see. But it's bigger than that for me. But you have to decide, is your dream worth it, or is it worth leaving behind? You have to remove all excuses. You have to remove all your excuses or stay where you are. You have to remove them all, or you're going to stay right where you are. That's hard for some people to hear. Because I know, and you know, when I'm actually saying something, if I'm making an excuse. I do it, and I catch myself. And I'm like, no, that's an excuse. That's just an excuse. Like when I said, I hear people when I'm coaching people or talking with people, them say, I just don't have a support system. I can't, I'm struggling. That's an excuse. That has nothing to do. Your support system has nothing to do with your success. Nothing. You don't need them. You don't deserve them. You have to earn it. And you have to be willing to go and work for it if you have none. But there are people out there that will support you. So that's an excuse. Okay, which would be harder for you? Doing nothing and staying where you are with regret, or working hard towards what you want even if you fail? See, for some of you, you're like, oh my gosh, if I put all this effort into it, I don't want to fail. Then you're not committed to it. See, because there's a lot, when I dream, at least at the end of my days, I will be able to say, I worked my butt off for this. Even though I didn't achieve it, I worked my butt off for it. As opposed to saying, well, it got really hard in my 40s and I just decided no more. That's not me. Maybe it's you. I hope it's not. I don't want to be that person. I want my family, I want my friends, I want you to see that no matter what, because I have yet to get on here and say, oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so successful. Everything's going perfect for me. I've yet to do that. But I've been doing this for a long time. But it's my commitment and drive to what I see that keeps me going. And yours has to be like that too. here's a question too, and I want you to write this one out, part of the homework. What do you need to start doing? Man, there's probably a lot of things that I could write down for this. What do you need to start doing to move you forward towards your dream? And what do you need to stop doing? For most of us, it's getting on Facebook and scrolling. I need to learn to be really intentional, and I have not done that yet. I haven't gotten to that point yet. Because I waste a lot of time doing that but I have a hard time preparing stuff for the next day, because just to be honest with you, I've tried that. It doesn't work for me, because what works for me is I have a creative mind, and all of a sudden something pops into my head, and then boom, that whole schedule's off for the next week. So I don't do that. But you know what I'm saying. What do you need to start doing, and what do you need to stop doing? Most of us need to stop making excuses, stop blaming other people, stop complaining, and start doing whatever it takes. Remember, big dream, effort has to be big. All right, what do you really need to succeed? I'm going to give you some words. You can tell me, you can add words to it. You have to have drive. You have to have determination. You have to have commitment. You have to have courage. You have to have your values, yours. You have to have a dream. You have to put in the effort. You have to put in your time, your energy, and your money. And those things are very precious. So to give it away, your dream has to be pretty important to you. If you're not willing to give those 3 things, because it's going to require all 3. If you're not willing to invest those 3 things, your dream is highly unlikely going to come true, because it's required. Here's another one. This is something that you need. You have to believe in you. We did a lot of work the first 2 days. We did a lot of work. Hard work that should have brought you to tears. And on one of those, I asked you, do you believe that that's possible? See, when I started out and somebody would tell me, I want you to dream, create your dream, what's your passion, what's your purpose? I made stuff up. And I couldn't get there, and I felt stuck because I didn't believe it. I have a vision board. I told you yesterday about having vision boards. They are important. But guess what? Just filling it up with crap to make it look pretty, all right? If you don't believe in the things that are on your vision board, throw it away and start over. Your vision board doesn't need to look like anybody else's, but it's got to mean something to you. And you got to believe in your heart that that is important enough to fight for. You have to believe in you. Not your company, not your family, not other people. You have to believe you. You have to know that you matter. You matter. That you are worth it. That you are capable. And you have to be the one to say, I'm going to stay the course. I'm going to stay this course, and I'm going to create the life that I'm proud of. See, I want you to think about this. If you get to the end of your life, do you want to say, I hope they were proud that I did everything that they said? I want to know that my time on this earth, I lived like God wanted me to. I did what He put me here to do. Not what this person told me to do, not what that person told me to do, because that's where confusion comes in. That's why you feel stuck and not aligned, because you're not serving out of your abilities. You're serving from what other people are telling you. You want to make this life a life that you're proud of. What does your dream life look like? The one that you can be proud of, that you worked hard for. What you think, what you speak, What you do will either move you forward or it will move you away from your dream. What you think, what you speak, and what you do. You have to remember that those three things are either taking you towards your dream or they're pulling you away. And sometimes you can be battling between those, and that's why you feel stuck. You have to actually guard those things. And you have to be mindful of those things. I told you guys the other day, I can feel when I'm getting anxious or when I'm like not feeling confident in myself. I can feel that, and I have to push it away. I have to like physically say, no, I'm not listening to that. I'm not believing that. Here's who I am. Here's how I'm showing up. Whether people like me or not, this is me. This is how I'm going to be. And I do it. That's what I want for you. At times, you will feel like quitting. But before you do, before you decide to quit, I want you to ask yourself a very powerful question. Nobody else knows this, only us. Before you decide to quit, I want you to write this down. Why? Why do you want to quit? Can I tell you a secret? The reason we started on day one with all the hard work that I made you do, I guarantee if you wanted to quit and you ask yourself why, the answer is back in day one. And that's why, my friend, I had you write it down. And then the next day we created what you wanted, because that is what's going to get rid of the why and not allow you to quit. If you feel stuck and you're like, man, I just want to give up. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm tired of doing this. I'm not good enough. And if I said, why will you quit? Your answer, I promise, lies back there. And I've already given you a reason not to follow that. I guarantee that. Stay committed to your dream. Stay committed to where you want to go, who the person is that you want to become. I'd love to hear your breakthroughs. I would love to hear from you. And I'd also love to hear, what was the hardest part of this series? What was hard? Was the hard part day one, or was it day two? Or is it today? Like you are still like, man, the how, like those questions. How am I going to have the confidence? How am I going to, stay committed? I want to know, what's the hardest part of this for you? You're all going to have different answers, so don't worry about what somebody else says. Let me know in the comments. And I'm asking you to do that because I want to help you, all right? If I were honest, if somebody asked me, I would have to put down 1, 2, and 3. They're all hard because they're hard questions to answer, because most of us have never been asked that or asked ourselves these questions. I also want to know, what was the most powerful, impactful part of this for you? Like, was there anything that you heard that you'd never heard before, or maybe you've heard 1,000 times, but something just clicked today that you're like, man, I've just been stuck there, and that part of it just helped me realize what? I want to know. And I'm going to close this out. I told you on day one. Some of you, and I told you, I want you to go through this. And some of you are going to have to go through each live a couple of times. But when you're done, I'd love to hear from you. I want to know how you're doing. I want to know what you were able to break through. I want to know about those ahas. But some of you are still going to be stuck. You're still going to be struggling because this is hard, and there's nothing wrong with you. And I want to share with you There's a number of ways that you can work with me. If you are at a place that you're tired of being stuck, and this was powerful, but you still need some additional help, feel free to reach out to me. Like I said, there's a number of different ways. I have some programs out there already. I would love to work with you, but I also know that some of you are on your way. But please remember what I said. I want to hear from you. And guess what? Now your job is to teach somebody else. Your job is to take the, what do they call that? I don't know, like the fire stick thing you do, and pass it along, the baton. I think I spit, sorry. Pass the baton. That's your job. So it doesn't matter where you are. I hope and pray that you gained something from our 3-day series. And I'd love to hear from you. I really do. And here is what I would also ask of you. If I have a bonus and a question for you. I would love to know, okay, if you felt that you received value from this 3-day series, all right, I would love to have a personal review from you on my business page. I can get you the link. You can send me a message and say, yes, Laurie, I did. Or, hey, if you didn't, that's okay too, because I know I'm not right for everybody. But if you received positive value from this, I would love for you to leave me a review on my business page. It'll help me with my business, but your input will also help me as I'm creating other programs. And, are you ready for the bonus? Huh? Every one of you that messages me after you've completed, and you don't have to do all the work. If you watch the lives, if you watch all the lives, all 3 lives, message me, say, I'm done watching the lives because I would love to give you a complimentary coaching call. And that can be, do you need help working through those questions from day 1? Do you need help working through the questions for day 2? Or do you need help on, Laurie, how do I get started? Like, what's my step now? If you watch the lives, that's my gift for you. I normally do, I give away a 20-minute coaching call. I will have a 40-minute coaching call for you. It's complimentary on the house. Just message me and we can set up a time so that I can help work you through this. And maybe where you're still stuck, we can have a breakthrough on the phone. How's that sound? Guys, thank you so much for being a part of my life. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for being on here and taking this time out. The lives will be up on my personal page. If you know someone, feel free to share. Tell them to go ahead and watch them. They're available to anyone, okay? But when you learn something, make sure you go and teach it. God bless you guys. Have a great night. Thank you again.